Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Joelicioius Sweet Sundays here, and today we're making the New York style coffee crumb cake. So to make the coffee crumb cake, we will need 2/3 of a cup of sugar, 2/3 of a cup brown sugar, 1 teaspoon and a half of cinnamon, ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 2 sticks of unsalted melted butter, still warm though, and 3.5 cups of cake flour. Very important, has to be cake flour. Other flour is not going to work. We will also need a baking tray, a baking pan lined with parchment paper and greased with butter or any other oil underneath. 13 by 9 I believe is the size. So all these ingredients we're going to use for the crumb topping. The other ingredients are going to go for the dough, and we're going to talk about this later. For right now, we will put all the sugars, cinnamon, and salt. And butter. Into the bowl of a mixer, stand-up mixer. And we're going to whisk them. After that, we're going to slowly add the flour. This process could be done by hand or a regular mixer, but we're using the standalone mixer. It's easier that way. So we're going to scrape off the mixture off the walls. And set it aside for about 10 to 15 minutes or until the dough is ready. So after the crumb topping is done, we're going to proceed with the dough. For the dough, we're going to need 2.5 cups of cake flour. Regular flour is not going to work again. We're going to need 1 cup regular sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We'll need 1.5 sticks of butter, still cold but cut into chunks. We need 2 separate yolks and 2 eggs. So just 2 yolks, 2 egg yolks, and 2 regular eggs. We're going to put them all together. And finally, we'll need some vanilla extract and 2/3 of a cup of buttermilk. At the end, we will need some powdered sugar for sprinkling on the top of the cake. So to make the dough, we're gonna put all the flour into the mixer bowl, a standing mixer bowl. Add sugar. Salt and baking soda. And we're gonna mix it on low. We're gonna scrape the sides a little bit. And now we're gonna start adding, with the mixer running all the time at low speed, we're gonna start adding one chunk of butter at a time. So we're going to continue mixing it until we don't see any chunks of butter. Basically, it's going to be solid powder, kind of resembling Parmesan cheese, powdered Parmesan cheese. After that, we're going to add the eggs and the egg yolks into the mixture. At this point, we're going to start slow and increase the speed to medium-high. After that, we're going to add the vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons. And finally, the buttermilk. You're gonna have to stop and scrape the sides of the bowl, making sure everything gets mixed in. After about a minute, the mixture is nice and light and fluffy. It's ready to be used for the cake. The oven should be on at 325 degrees. So we're going to take the dough mixture and gently pour it out to the baking tray, to the baking pan. After that, we're going to spread the dough evenly in the baking tray. After that, we're going to get the topping crumb mixture, and starting from the edges to the center, making small pea-size chunks, throwing them right on the top. Be careful not to push them inside the dough. If you don't have time to mess with this, you can just use a regular grater. But the whole idea of this New York style crumb cake is to make it with real crumbs. I like them bigger, so I'm going to make them slightly bigger. So as a result, we got the pie like this. That's gonna go right to the oven for about 35 to 40 minutes on the higher rack of the oven. All right, folks, it's been 40 minutes. The New York style crumb cake is ready to be taken out of the oven. So this is what it looks like. Later on, we're gonna try, after we do Joelicioius Kitchen with Joe, we're gonna have to try it with some coffee. But for now, folks, stay tuned. We'll be back in the studio and then Joelicioius Kitchen after.